Hi everyone, Namaste from India. What are the gifts that yoga can bring to our life? And I'm speaking about these gifts after 1 year of burning in the fire of deep transformation and 1 year of understanding that everything I had achieved in my spiritual path before 2009 was just kindergarten. Yes, life blessed me with a very intense personal transformation. And I'm speaking to you from the perspective of someone who has bit the dust, someone who has cried all her tears, and at the same time grateful for the experience that has brought me back to myself. So the first gift that I have received from my practice in this transformation is a lot of love for myself. Something that it's new for me. I was always carrying a lot of responsibilities, even carrying other people's responsibilities on my back. And somehow life took away all that responsibility and told me, now you focus on yourself. And it's not been hard because I had the habit of holding other people's lives and making it better for them, even enabling them from their own responsibilities. That's something that mothers do, but something that especially, how can I say, yogis do if they don't know boundaries. And setting boundaries is part of our spiritual path. Otherwise, we're gonna find ourselves cluttered by many energies that are not ours. And setting clear limits has been a very important lesson for me from this transformation. The second gift that I have received is minimalism. So I had to leave my home and my shala in Costa Rica in very abrupt ways, and I only took a backpack with me to India, and I had to start from scratch, and it's been such a blessing. I left behind all my belongings. I left behind my books, my clothes, my shala, my family, and I had to start from scratch. And wow, that has been the most intense and painful experience in my whole life. It was like a death. It was just like completely disappearing. And that shattering of everything I had created made me realize I don't need much to live. I need love, of course, like we all do. I need a little food and my yoga practice and my guru and good friends. That's all I need. So minimalism, being grateful for whatever it's in your plate and letting go of whatever is superfluous or weighs you down. The third gift is the power of speech. Speaking impeccably. And everything I have spoken since all this tragedy happened, I've really been careful because I know my children will listen to all this when they grow up because of the magic of technology. And I have been especially careful to say and speak from my personal truth. Of course, my personal truth won't agree with many other truths from other people, but that's none of my business. I have to speak what I believe. I have to speak what it's in my heart and what, of course, agrees with my ethics and my morality. And that's a powerful tool that I'm learning how to use. The fourth one is truth, and truth has come in many areas in my life, especially in my family life. I realize who is there for me and who is not there for me, no matter if there are blood ties between us. Sometimes we think that just because we share a name, people are supposed to be there for us, and that's not necessarily true. We have to be very picky and very selective of who we let in, especially during the process of grieving. Not everyone is going to understand what we're going through. No, everyone is going to want to go out of their mind and their expectations to be there for us. And that's okay. That's okay, because now I have less people around me, but those that are there, I know I can count on. And that's really like, enlightening for me. I was carrying a lot of relationships that were actually weighing me down. And now I feel lighter, and that's such a gift, especially in these times of so much external happenings, and there's a very dense energy around us in these days, and yoga helps us move through it no matter what is going around us. The next gift is I have reowned my creativity. For many years I taught in Mashallah, and I traveled, and I started communities, and I brought teachers and students to India, and it had become like a pattern. And now, since everything that I had built collapsed, I had to start from scratch, and creating on top of the ruins is a very enlightening process. And I'm learning how to teach. This is a manifestation, these videos, of how now I want to teach globally, because I know there's many people out there that maybe cannot come to India right now, or maybe don't have a teacher close, and maybe are struggling in their own personal lives. And if somehow I can help someone get inspired and understand that there's a way of living in this world insulated from all delusion, and that's called yoga. Yoga insulates our minds and clears our perception, and that's all we need to live a happy life. Because even if we are in a beautiful castle surrounded by servants with diamonds all over our body, and if we cannot understand what life is about, we are supremely unhappy. But if we are sitting under a tree with a little apple on our hands, and we understand who we are, everything is fine. We are good wherever we are. So creating is part of our capacities as yogis, as human beings. How do you create yourself? How do you recreate yourself? How do you keep growing and evolving, even in process of intense grief? How to do that? Do your practice. Next one is commitments to other people, commitment to your personal path, finding the focus and the deep realization that committing is not impairing our freedom, but on the opposite. It's actually disciplining our mind so we can be more present for ourselves and for others. So yes, I gave the big yes this 2019, something that I thought was not in my cards anymore. And I'm very happy to be able to do that with someone that is willing to stay awake inside of him. Because if our partners or our friends, if they are willing to see deeper, then we have a good working relationship. A good working relationship so we can evolve as human beings, as souls, and especially as partners. Because our friends or our family members or our husbands or wives and boyfriends, girlfriends, they are simply mirrors of who we are and how to walk this earth with more harmony and solidarity. Next gift is depth. And when I speak about depth, I speak about all those thousands, millions of asana practitioners that think that showing the perfect handstand, one hand handstand, is a feat. Well, if you're in the Cirque du Soleil, maybe it is, but if you're in the spiritual path, it's absolutely irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And all this cult of yoga celebrities, it's absolutely a contradiction in itself. As yogis, we are not here to take the spotlight, we are here to serve. serve our teachers, serve each other, most of us, be kind to each other. That's for me the true mark of a yogi. So that depth in your practice, that depth in our daily sadhana, wow, it's for me, it's been so incredibly such a gift, because I was also trapped in thinking that I had to compete and that I had to show and that I had to be acknowledged, and not at all, not at all. We can be like, we can lose our limbs and we can still have depth as yogis and bring all the gifts, because yoga is mind control, is skill in action, is how to live your life from a place of more awareness. It has nothing to do with your asana displays. And from that awareness comes the embracing of the whole humankind. Understanding that anything we do to someone, we do to ourselves first. Anything we do to our planet, we do to our own body. And realizing this makes us take steps into the right direction of understanding that we are all connected and there are no others. Everything we do to each other, we either suffer together or we grow together, and really trying to put that into action. Also, I realized that many of my dreams are becoming true. First of all, like living in India, it's something I thought would never happen. I came here with a job, expecting to be here for a couple of years only. And then life gave me a beautiful present, a beautiful gift, like to be able to stay where I love and where I can grow and evolve as a spiritual being. And this climax in my life has followed a process of deep grief. So even in the middle of grief, even in the middle of loss, we are held, we are embraced by grace, we are always loved, supremely loved. And this also brings awareness of who is there for us and who are the true friends. Finally, telling my story and telling each other's stories. That's the most important thing in these times of change. Understanding that we are all fighting very tough battles with the illusion, because the illusion is playing with our minds. The illusion takes us when we get angry, takes us when we get sad, confuses our mind, makes us project, takes us back into the neurosis of all patterns, and all that has to be purified. Our mind has to be purified, because our mind is the way we take the world into ourselves and then respond back. So all that process is called practice, and practice has to be done daily, because there's so many attacks around us and people are really going in their loony behaviors, and if we are not settled and stable inside of us, we're lost. And of course, we are lost without a teacher. A teacher is not negotiable. We need a teacher, we need a guru. And that's why I'm not teaching asana here in YouTube. I'm only doing lectures, because for your practice, you have to build it up with someone physically. Someone has to be there for you. Someone has to relate to you. And in that teacher-student relationship, you're going to find so much about trust, about yourself, about your own projections, as I have found with my own teacher, which I am supremely grateful to. So yeah, 2020 is going to ask a lot of courage from us. It's also optimism, happiness, building from scratch, and also integrating what has happened before this amazing year. We're opening a decade, and that's very exciting, and we're also in line with many happenings in the universe, and this brings a unique opportunity to put forward our wisdom, to deconstruct whatever is not meant for us anymore, and also to act with passion, awareness, joy, and much gratitude for everything that is. That's yoga. Namaste.